Hi, hello, welcome to another video. I'm going to give you a ton of tips and things they just didn't tell you about in the Teal Mask DLC and or the 2.0.1 update, which came at the same time as the Teal Mask DLC. Some of these will require you to get the Teal Mask. Some of them won't. Some of them are just quality of life features that if you came back to the game and you haven't bought the DLC yet, you can still experience. I do want to just say right off the bat that there are no story spoilers in this video, so you don't have to worry about these tips spoiling something that you haven't experienced yet. One of my favorite things that came with the Teal Mask DLC was actually just part of the 2.0.1 update, so you don't actually even have to buy the Teal Mask in order to experience this, but they added a brand new mark to the game, which is called the Item Finder Mark. So while most marks on the game appear on a Pokemon when you catch it, there are a couple marks that can be earned at any time, like ribbons. The Item Finder Mark is the new one that came with the 2.0.1 update. And with that, all you have to do is send your Pokemon out to pick up items for you using the Let's Go feature. Every time your Pokemon picks up an item, there's a 1 in 100 chance for it to get this mark. You can get this mark on multiple Pokemon of yours going through the entire game. And if you're exploring the Teal Mask area for the first time in Kitakami, there are a ton of items on the ground, making this mark relatively easy to get just by sending your Pokemon out. You will have to check your Pokemon from time to time to see if it's earned the mark. But like ribbons, it is something you can earn on your Pokemon at any time. And for me, it's one of my favorite things that they added to the game. Originally, when you talk to the shop owner, she tells you that she won't accept LP. She actually calls it a cryptocurrency. But if you bother her enough about it, she'll eventually give in and you'll be able to buy any of her items with your LP. She does say you have to wait a period of time, and I'm not exactly sure how much time it was. I did set my timer for 15 minutes, and at the end of 15 minutes, she still wouldn't accept my LP. But after about a half hour of wandering around the open world and coming back, she did accept it. So I'm not 100% sure if it's time-based or if it's step-based, but she did accept my LP within about 30 minutes of just normal gameplay. But yeah, the game doesn't tell you that, and she originally says no LP, but if you just keep asking her over and over again, in the same session, she will eventually accept LP for you for the rest of the game. Another new update, you can now filter your TMs by learnable moves. So if I specifically wanted to teach my Shaman something, these are all the moves that Shaman can learn. I don't have to worry about looking at moves that Shaman cannot learn. So it makes it a lot easier to teach TMs, even though TMs should be unlimited and they're not in this game. But it's easier to teach your TMs to specific Pokemon without going through a bunch that you cannot actually learn for them. So it's a welcome feature at the very least. So if you purchased the DLC either recently or several months ago, you actually get a bunch of free clothes with that. In order to access those free clothes, you actually have to go to the downloadable content button. And if you haven't redeemed those clothes, you'll actually see like a little gift present in the corner. I've already redeemed them. But you're going to go click on the downloadable content. You're going to then go into check item details. And then you're going to see the new uniform set, which will give you 4 new outfits, a new hat, a backpack. It doesn't matter when you purchase the DLC, whether that's watching this video immediately after this video, a couple months ago. You do have to go in and redeem it, though. So if you haven't done that already, feel free to do that, and it'll add some more clothes to your wardrobe. This tip is pretty simple. You are going to fly to the Loyalty Plaza in Kitakami. Once there, you are going to find the guy near the gate, and he will add a new feature to your game, which is the Rotom phone apps. This will let you customize your Rotom decks. As you can see, I have a pink theme here. There are a ton of themes based on the different cases you can get throughout the game. So you can buy cases at Lavencia, Cascafara, I think I'm saying that right, and Mesagosa. As well as at the festival in Kitakami, you can buy some more cases as well, and this will customize your game even further. Once you get a little further into your Teal Mask adventure, you're going to be handed the Teal Style card. This card will give you new hairstyles that they'll tell you about right away, but it will also update the older stores in Paldea to have new clothing options. I just went to a random store in Mesagosa, and as you can see, it has the normal stuff. But if you scroll down, you're going to look for the items with the little 2 sparkles. And those are all the new items that came with your DLC purchase. So there are more character clothing options that you can do. Unfortunately, there are no shirts or pants that you can add, but there are new shoes, new backpacks, new hats, new tights, new socks, new glasses, and then new hairstyles as well. So if you missed that, there's a bunch of new clothing options at all the old stores. So some stores have a lot of clothing items, some have one or two. There's a couple stores that don't have anything new, depending on what they were selling to begin with. Not really advertised when you made your purchase that there was the older stores were going to update with newer clothes. The Teal Mask added a mini game, and that mini game rewards what are called Moshi. Now, I wish I had some good news here, but unfortunately, Moshi is pretty boring. It just acts as vitamins would act. Vitamins give you 10 per stat. Feathers give you 1. Moshis are the same thing. They just give you plus 10. While that is a little bit disappointing, we got something that is actually decent and something that should have been in the game since the start, which is the Fresh Start Moshi. This will cause a Pokemon to lose all of its base points and reset it back to 0, which is really great if you are trying to rebuild a Pokemon's EVs. Prior to this existing, the only way to do that was to get berries, and there's not a really good way to get berries without resetting the auction over and over. If you are prepping for an upcoming 7-star raid and your EVs are wrong, you'll be able to use a Fresh Start Moshi from the minigame and then reset them all. This did happen in Sword and Shield as well. Lady called Lady Clear on one of the islands in the Isle of Armor, and she would reset your EVs on your Pokemon. If there's one good thing to come from the minigame, the Fresh Start Moshi is probably the thing you want to get out of that. Did you know that certain 5- and 6-star raids have a higher chance of dropping Herba Mystica? This has been around since the start of the game. With the Teal Mask, there are new 5- and 6-star raids, and those raids have also an increased chance of dropping Herba Mystica. Now, every 5-star raid has a 11% chance on average to drop at least one Herba Mystica, and then a 6-star raid has a 13% chance to drop an Herba Mystica. But the raids that I have listed here on screen have an even greater chance of dropping Herba Mystica. So instead of one possible drop, these raids have up to 5 possible drops. So if you are grinding for Herba Mystica, these are the best 5- and 6-star raids, according to Sarumi, that you should do or prioritize instead of just general raids. If you've made it this far in the video, I would appreciate a like, comment, share. It really helps the video out. If one of these tips or maybe multiple of these tips helped you, please let me know. If I missed something that is not a spoiler, feel free to comment down below. There are a lot of little things that the recent updates added, so I hope I captured most of them for you today. If you are still doing raids in Scarlet and Violet, the 2.0.1 update added more features that you do not need the DLC to buy to experience. One of those updates now being that the raid shows proper attack cheers and defense cheers. Before the 2.0.1 update, we didn't know exactly how long these cheers lasted. We knew from sources like Sarumi or Anubis on Twitter that these would last a random amount of turns and that they would not stack with each other. Now, if we simply hit the Y button to go into the menu, we can see our sword dances, we can see our light screens, our rain, our focus energies, but more importantly, we can see defense cheers and attack cheers. They do not stack with each other, as was told to us, but they will last between 2 to 6 turns. It seems that most of the time it is 2 turns, but it can go up to 6 turns if you're really lucky. But this is a great feature for group play. It would have been really good if this came out before the Mewtwo raids, since I know some players did struggle with Mewtwo. The other interesting thing is the raid boss can clear these buffs. So when you do see on the screen that your ability has been suppressed and the buffs have been cleared, it does suppress and clear a defense cheer or an attack cheer. So keep that in mind if you know that the boss is going to do that, not to do either of those two. Obviously, heal cheer is a one-time, just heals for the turn, so that won't be displayed there. But defense cheer and attack cheer are finally displayed in the raid menu, which is a very welcome change to raids in Scarlet and Violet. If you haven't played Scarlet and Violet in a while, or you're on the fence of picking up the DLC, they did fix some things in the game, including the PC boxes. The PC boxes now load a lot faster. While they didn't go ahead and fix the frame rate, this was a very welcome change. Now, when you're sorting through it, you don't have to wait that 2 seconds. Maybe it was a little bit shorter, but it felt like a 2 full seconds for your Pokemon to load in. So there is a couple of quality of life changes. You don't need to buy the DLC for faster boxes. There was a lot of minor changes they did with the 2.0.1 update, and one of them is the faster boxes loading, which should have been there since day one, but it's here now. So I'm going to put these 2 tips together in one since they're both really short. First tip is with the 2.0.1 update, there are now 3 levels of zoom for your character. 1, 2, 3. One more time. 1, 2, 3. That's new. before that update, there was only 2 levels of zoom. So I'm not exactly sure why that was done, but hey, more options are better. The second actual update is kind of the same thing. So with Scarlet and Violet, if you clicked in R3, which is the right joystick, if you press that in, it is a button, it will change so you could rotate the map. Now, I'm not sure why anyone would want this one, but if you press it in again, it will lock the north to be always up. And then the new feature of the 2.0.1 update is if you press it one more time, it will lock not only your map, but it will also lock the mini map on the main screen. So again, a brand new feature that they added. You don't need to pay for the Teal Mask to get it, but it was something that did come with the update, which was the same time the Teal Mask dropped. So 3 camera angles and now 3 map features, both added during this last update. A new customization feature added with the Teal Mask, which is this guy right here. He makes chairs. So if you like the picnic a lot and you went around and you purchased all the tablecloths and you did the olive minigame to get that bonus tablecloth after you beat the main storyline, you can come to this guy. He will turn those tablecloths also into a chair pattern, and then you can have a more customizable picnic. While the lack of clothing options in this game are incredibly frustrating, it's still somewhat nice that you can customize some stuff here. So before the Teal Mask, you were able to do your cup, water bottle, your tablecloth, and now you can also do the chairs. And so I don't think it's bringing anyone back to the DLC specifically for this, but if you spend a lot of time making eggs or just in the picnic feature, it's better than nothing, I guess. It is a new feature that they didn't really advertise at all. So hey, that's why I'm telling you. If you want to meet up with these guys, which are at the bottom of the festival hall here. I think I've covered everything I can in this video. Hopefully it wasn't too long. Hopefully you made it through. Thank you so much for watching, and I plan to have more Teal Mask DLC related stuff coming in the future. I just wanted to make sure that my first video about the Teal Mask did not spoil a bunch of things for y'all, as I know some people are still working through the Pokedex, or some people are still working through the story. Even though it's short, some people like to take their time. So until next time, thank you for watching, and bye!